Hey, this is Judgment Waits, and I've got a hardcore team deathmatch on the map Fallen for you. I don't know about you, but man, I am really struggling with some allergies right now, and I'm just getting able to actually talk and speak and everything like that. Every year around this time, I get them. I don't know. I guess it's allergies. Allergies, cold, I'm not sure. But it's weird. It always starts off the same way with a sore throat, and then it moves into coughing, and then a runny nose, and then finally it ends with a fever. So I always assume it's allergies. I don't know what it is though, but it always drives me nuts. So I'm in fever mode right now, so that's kind of good. You know, I think my body is burning whatever this is off, and hopefully I should feel better, here soon. Other than that, I just bought a journal, and if you're like me, I kind of always pictured journals being for girls and, guys a little too in touch with their emotions or something like that. But I actually bought one, and the reasoning behind it, I'm not a big journal or anything like that. I do like to record some things that, maybe God is speaking to me or things that I've learned, but I want to pass on my story, and I want to pass on things that I've learned to my kids and just be able to give them something when they get a little bit older that tells more about me and my experiences. The way I figure it, I'm about halfway through this life, and I think it's been a pretty interesting life so far. I was born in Illinois, and my earliest memories come from Des Plaines or Des Plaines, depending on how you pronounce it. We were always poor, so we always called it Des Plaines. But if you know where O'Hare Airport is, I lived in a trailer park right next to O'Hare Airport, as close as you can be to that. So grew up in a trailer park, which, was great because I had, 60 of my closest friends right by me where I was living. So we always had big, baseball games and bike chases and everything like that. So it was a lot of fun growing up with that. We were always poor though. My dad worked construction and my mom babysat, and I was an only child, so with her babysitting, we always had a lot of other kids so over at our house, so it was like growing up with brothers and sisters, I guess, a little bit. I never liked sharing my toys with them or anything like that. My father struggled with alcohol and drugs. He went over to Vietnam and did a tour over there and really got hooked on some nasty drugs. So growing up, he was around and not around. He would go on these drinking binges where he would just leave for, long periods of time, and it was just me and my mom. A lot of, we had a lot of issues with bills and collections and, things like that, just because his income was very unsteady. Sometimes he'd just get a paycheck and go out and blow it at the bar. So, it was kind of rough growing up with that. Being with my dad was a roller coaster ride. It was great while he was there. Financially we were better off, and I knew my dad always loved me. He just struggled with this addiction or these addictions. But while he was there, we had a lot of fun. We'd always be playing together, and he always made it clear that he did love me. But, then there would be these times where he'd just go, and it was very frustrating, and I think I had some resentment towards him for that. Whereas my dad was the roller coaster ride, my mom was the rock. She was the one person that was very stable in my life, and I knew I could depend on her and look to her. And I'm really thankful. My mom sacrificed a lot for me. She never had anything. All her money went towards me and the family, and she was just very selfless in that respect. With my father's, trouble with alcohol and everything, it made it hard for him to keep a job, obviously. When you're gone for a while and just leave and everything and don't work, it's hard to find employment, that'll put up with that. So we started running out of options in that respect. I started going to school. In the school I was going to, my graduating class would have been 1,000. So it was a very big school, a rough school, and I think my mom really wanted to get me out of that atmosphere. She didn't want me to get involved in gangs or anything like that. So my whole entire family, we were looking for a fresh chance and a new start. So we moved actually to Ohio, and we moved to a small town in north central Ohio, population I think there's close to 7,000 people. It's probably in the 6,000s, something like that. And man, I hated my parents when we moved, moving away from all my friends and everything like that. And especially to this podunk town. We don't have a movie theater in town. We don't have a Walmart. We don't have anything here, So I was really frustrated and angry at my parents with that move. Now, looking back, though, I'm really thankful that we did move here. After we moved here, though, things were good, but then, of course, my dad fell into the same things, and the same things happened. I remember I was in junior high school, though, and I remember the day very clearly. And that day, my mom was served with papers from my father, that he was seeking a divorce. And, I was probably 13, and that day just really hit me and rocked my world, and I was very, very distraught with that, very devastated by that, because I always imagined one day, my dad would get things together, my mom would get things together, and we'd have this happily ever after life, and that was just kind of the finality of it, the ending of that. So that was very frustrating growing up. I'm sure, as you guys, a lot of you guys can relate. It's rough growing up in a single parent family, and my mom, tried really hard, but I would have loved to have my dad there with me. I had to teach myself how to shave, and to tie a tie, and there's just a lot of things, sports wise and everything that was just, absent, and I think I missed out on a lot. I would have loved to have asked my dad about girls. That would have been great to have somebody to talk to, because you really don't want to talk, about that subject with your mom. So I never really did talk to her. Luckily, I had friends, though. But, I'm very grateful that my mom was in my life. Like I said, she was a rock. God was a rock in my life. And I know a lot of you guys probably don't know or don't have a relationship with God. But here's the thing, having God in your life doesn't make all your problems go away. There's some people that say, if you accept Jesus Christ, your life is going to be awesome and everything like that. Yes, that's true, and no, it's not true. Well, what do you mean? If you accept Jesus Christ in your life isn't just going to become roses. The world isn't just going to stop messing with you or anything like that. We live in a fallen world, where you're still going to have to deal with things and everything like that. When I accepted Christ, my dad didn't just magically stop drinking and that problem go away. But I had somebody that I could turn to, somebody real, and I know God isn't real to a lot of you, but he can be. I talk to him. He is a source of strength for me. He is a source of peace. When I do things or when I'm down or anything like that, it's amazing the peace that comes from knowing him. And like I said, it's something that I can't explain to you, that you really just have to experience. So I hope you do. I hope you find a church, a church that loves you, will help you, and will just be there for you. I had a youth pastor that really, was there for me when my father wasn't, and really helped me through a lot of things. So, I hope you can find that and that type of fellowship with people that won't judge you, but that will just care for you. Let me end with this, though. I hope whatever you're going through and dealing with, whether you're the single parent or you're the kid or, something else is going on in your life, I hope it doesn't make you bitter or just sour you to life in general. Everything that happened to me, I believe, happened for a reason. It made me who I am. I think all the things that happened to me made me a compassionate person that wants to reach out to people and help them out, wherever they are, especially kids. I'm a volunteer youth pastor, and I probably wouldn't have been unless the things happened to me the way they did. So now I want to reach out and help people. I see a lot of kids that are struggling with things, and I think because of the things that have happened to me, I'm better able to speak to them and help them. Maybe whatever you're going through, God can use you to speak to some people and help some people that are going to be struggling with similar things. I know it doesn't make it any easier to deal with it right now, though. But hey, if I can pray with you about anything, send me an email. Connect with me at 3dayrespawn.com. There's a great community there that we love to hold each other up. Let me know what you think of this. And as always, though, take care and God bless.